Hi everyone, so it's time to do another sketchbook tour, finally. I don't know why I've been like this lately, but I haven't been sketching, or I haven't been using my sketchbook as much as I usually do. Usually I finish one every 3 months, but it's been a really long time because I just haven't been using a sketchbook. I've been doing a lot of drawing, just not in here, but it's finally done, and I hope the next one won't take as long, so let's jump into it. So this is the Illo sketchbook. It's really good for mixed media and has smooth paper. I just really like the quality of it, but they're hard to get because shipping is expensive and they're always out of stock. And I got these as gifts like last Christmas. So I started the first page with some seahorses. I think I was just looking at some photos and just trying to draw them and just having fun with markers and watercolor. Or maybe this was all watercolor. I think the lines are markers, but the other stuff is watercolor. I drew these poses from reference, so I didn't really come up with the poses. I was just trying to recreate them and put my own characters in it. I think Mermaid was coming up, so I wanted to kind of practice the anatomy. I didn't do Mermaid, but I just felt like drawing some mermaids. Just some random ink drawings, and these dogs. I like these dogs. Probably from photo reference. Oh, this was the first mermaid I did. Did I do any others? I don't think so. I did like a shrimp mermaid, but I never posted it because I wasn't happy with it. Drew this really big fish and some jellyfish, and this weird fish I saw. I think I was drawing from photos I took of an aquarium that I went to. I think that's what this was, what this page was. This is from a photo reference. It was too cute to not try to draw. I think it's a bunch of meerkats and they're all like huddled together. It's super cute. Just some birds, random doodles, nothing too special here. I do like this drawing of my dog though. I like the lines I used. I think this was more drawings from the aquarium I went to, or was it planning for, I think it was planning for an illustration, so I was drawing like different types of coral. Oh yeah, I did do a mermaid drawing. It was this one, and it was like a magma coral mermaid. I used like a prompt list. And this was the final one. I think I offered it as a print. It was like a bonus item for patrons, and I always liked how the tail turned out on it. I should have filled it out more. Like, I really need to fill pages more. This was planning for an illustration, like critter houses, I think I called it. It's actually a print on my store, and I think I did a video on it, and I used this page to kind of plan out my thumbnails really quickly. It wasn't too in-depth. This is a sketch of a place near me. It's not the best sketch. I wish I had a thicker marker for it because it's just super scratchy, and I think a thicker marker would have been a lot better for this. I feel like I was in kind of a rut with a lot of these sketches in here. Just some watercolor doodles. Not a fan of this one or this one or this one. This one's okay, I don't know. Some more sketches. I think some of these were... No, these weren't from reference. I just kind of drew them, I think, yeah. Some more random drawings. This actually became an illustration. I don't know what I was doing or writing here. I have no memory of doing this page. Oh yeah, these sketches were fun. And I kind of sketched over top of some swatches. I don't mind how that sketch turned out. A mask. I think I saw a drawing and tried to like recreate it there. I don't know. Oh, this was also planning for the dragon illustration I did. I think this was the first sketch box I opened. Yeah, it ended up looking something like this. A bunch of backpack doodles to prepare for a backpack zine I was gonna do. I really like drawing with bold markers. It's just so much fun. My dog, one of my vegetable plants, I think, and just a bunch of houses, just practicing from reference. Because I find whenever I go to draw a house, I never know like what features to add to the house. Because you know when you draw a person, you draw like the face and the eyes and the nose and hands, and you can draw like scarves or dresses or suits or whatever. When it comes to a house, I'm like a roof, a door, and then what? Like what else? Windows. But like what makes the house look cool? So that's why I like to draw houses like this every once in a while. Some pencil crayon doodles. I gotta do this more in my next sketchbook. I have a lot of fun with pencil crayon. A hippo. I like how that hippo looks. A lot of random animal sketches. These little hippos, fun to draw. I love just pulling up photos of animals and just sketching them. It's just a lot of fun. This was a video. I did this whole spread in a video, and I had so much fun with this. I really enjoyed just like painting in the colors and just having fun drawing stuff I wanted to draw. I actually made a sticker sheet out of this bird too. I drew a bunch more of similar like styled birds, and they're all doing different things. I remember I was really struggling this day when I was sketching. What was I think this was in a video or something. and I was just having so much trouble with it. Or no, maybe it wasn't a video. But I was doing this on my own time, and I just could not draw properly for the life of me, and I kept having to cover stuff with sticky notes, but sometimes that just happens. You can't expect every page to be good. This was a video also, just letting myself sketch. I find I start a video and I draw a bunch of things that just look really weird, and then one of the last things I draw I actually like, and if I kept drawing then the rest would be better, but all you really get to see is all my like warm-ups and mistakes. Some sketches of my dog. She's always fun to draw. I used to have a really hard time drawing her, but I'm starting to get better at it. This was also a video. I really liked working with the watercolor in this page. I just like the colors I got. And mixed with the pencil, I just think it's a lot of fun. And this little Doberman is so cute. Like, this was one of the last sketches I did of the whole page, and it ended up being one of my favorites. And I love this pencil. I need to use that more. So you can get some really nice dark lines, but also some mid-tone values. It's kind of nice to be able to flip through this again. This page was kind of fun to do. I had, I don't know, I never know how I want to stylize people. There are so many different ways of drawing people, and sometimes I like to explore different ways. And I need to draw feet better. I need to focus on drawing better feet, because I always just don't put a lot of effort into it, and I know I can, I just need to do it better, because it can really give a nice place for a character to sit. And also that hand. I could have erased that hand and actually drawn a hand, but no, and I could have drawn a hand there, or it could be behind his body. I don't know. This was kind of a mess up page. I tried to draw like a lake I was sitting by, but it didn't really turn out. I didn't have the right materials with me, and I kind of rushed it. But I did do this sketch. This is actually my mom swimming, and I like how that one turned out. I don't remember what this was or why I did this on this page, but sometimes you just have pages like this that just are not really sketches. I don't know what I was doing, but it's there. I should have made something out of it. I had to tape in some drawings because I didn't want to lose them, so I found, like, I had this loose sheet of sketches that I actually liked, most of them, so I just flipped through this and found little blank areas and stuck them in. So this was one of those pages that didn't have a lot of sketches on it, so I fit them in so I won't lose them, because they were drawn around the time I had this sketchbook. These are 2 paintings. I think I have more, yeah. I went through a gouache study phase where I went outside and painted some flowers. I like how this one turned out. This one is muddy and not really what I wanted it to be. It's overworked and it's kind of dull, but I don't mind this one. I think it has some nice looseness to it. There's a whole video on this too, actually. I painted my dog. I really like how these paintings turned out. She's a lot of fun to paint, and I think I got a lot better at painting her, because I painted her a long time ago. I did a little comparison on my Instagram showing before and after. Well, these are both after. But I just really like her fur because it's black, but she also has some brown. And then depending on where she is, there's blues and purples and greens all reflected in her black fur. So she's a lot of fun. And she has so much gray now compared to last time, so there's a lot of gray around her nose. Another painting from outside, overworked, but I learned from it. I only really like this part down here, the way I did the lighting on the flower pot. Some frog sketches and some dogs or wolves. I don't really know what this was for. I think this was for a bunch of character designs, but there's hardly anything on the page. This was for a video. I think I was combining a few animals together, so there's a lot of sketches of different animals all across these pages, and it turned into that. And I've never been fully happy with this at all. I wish I could change it, but you can't always be happy with everything. This was a mess up sketch also, but I tried to sketch it, tried to redo it, ended up way stiffer and not what I wanted it to be at all, but that's okay. It's in the past. I really like doing these sketches, not so much this one, and then this was also part of it, and I ended up making this a print because I just like the way it turned out. I think it's pretty cute, and it was a Patreon print, so it was limited, and a bunch of people got it. And I just really like the way this bunny turned out. The rendering of it I had a lot of fun with, because it's like pastel, watercolor, gouache, pencil, crayon. It's a lot of stuff mixed together. I find that's like the perfect balance for me. I have to mix a bunch of stuff. I drew these like sibling characters on this page, just having fun with that. Some weird doodles on this side, just a lot of stuff that I draw and I'm like, oh, that looks bad, and I move on, I draw something else that looks bad, and I don't bother to fix anything, but I don't think you really need to fix stuff necessarily. I think I was doing a bunch of... Oh yeah, I always have a hard time composing images when it's a landscape. Like, I can't think of any interesting ideas when it's like an actual like space. So I was looking up a bunch of just like photos of environments and landscapes and stuff, and I was just doing little thumbnails trying to like copy down the composition to hopefully give me some ideas in the future and to help me draw things I don't normally draw. So more of the same. I think I was actually stopped by a railroad track, so I drew what I saw because this looks like a railway track to me. This was a sketch. I was also parked somewhere else, and I was just like drawing, and there's a little seagull. So I like the composition of it. There's so much space down here, but then he's there, and I like the rendering of the trees. I was with a friend. We were hanging out by the water, and I was just drawing some of the wood and the rocks and the boats around us, just getting the textures and stuff. It was pretty fun. These are some crayon drawings, which I always get excited about, and then I start drawing with crayon, and I just can't get anything to look right, because you can't get very dark colors, and it's just such a weird tool to work with, but I still like crayon, and I'm still going to keep trying to use it. This is more of that page I didn't want to lose, so I glued it on this side because this was empty because it was full of crayon shavings. Here's some crayon bees. I don't mind how they turned out. I think they need a little more definition, but you can't really do much with crayon. I did put some Posca markers on top, which isn't a good idea to put it on top of wax, but I just did it. Oh yeah, I've never liked this page. I think everything just didn't turn out. Very forced, very stiff and weird. I was never a fan of these, but yeah, I'll just turn the page. Some cars I was drawing in a parking lot, a rock. This is like a very like northern Canada kind of environment, and so is this. They're both from the same place, I think. I think it's the same. It's like the same shoreline. When I was camping, I was just like drawing what I saw around me. Just some ink work. I actually like how that, man, my favorite kind of ink pen is this it? Oh, it is. It's the kind with the flexible nib like this. So you can do like, oh my gosh. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. You can do really thin, really thick, and you don't need to have the most precise grip in the world because it's a pretty hard pen, so it's easy to get softer lines without just barely touching the paper. Oop. Some more boats. I think this was at the same place where I was drawing the other water stuff, but I was there with my family instead, not a friend that time, and I was just drawing stuff with a water-soluble pencil, and just using my water brush pen to just like blend out some of the stuff. I think that's a really fun way to work, using a water-soluble dry media and then adding water. So it's really easy to do when you're on the go. Here's more of that page that I glued in. I really like the way this bird turned out. I love pencil crayon. I need to use it more. I like it for sketching. I don't like doing big things with it, just small stuff. This was also for a video. Just drawing, doodling, having fun. Some more stuff. I don't really know what these were for. Oh yeah, I was drawing some characters from the Barbie movie, but like I barely drew anything. Oh yeah, I think this was this a video? I don't really know, but this is a picture I saw on Pinterest and I had to try to draw it. Another picture I saw on Pinterest, some plants that I really want. I think that's like a rubber plant or something. And just some like random doodles and just having fun with media and filling a sketchbook page, because that's always fun to do, just to like really fill it up. I wish all my sketchbooks could look like that, but sometimes I just like to have pages that aren't so like crammed, you know? I don't know. But also not this empty. This barely has anything on it. Trying out a different kind of coloring, using some pencil crayons, some hue shifting ones, which are really fun because they kind of change color as you sketch. So this one is like pink and blue. This is also a pretty popular picture on Pinterest, so I decided pretty popular picture on Pinterest. That's a lot of alliteration. Working on sneakers because I need to draw them better. I need to draw feet better, hands better. Because I tend to like glaze over shoes and just like give it like a general shoe shape. So I was trying to do that here and like draw better shoes, I guess. This one could be improved. I think those ones are okay. It was just like some random bunny girl I started to draw just for fun. Because sometimes it's fun to draw that stuff. Also some wrinkles. This was copied from a photo someone did. I think a lot of these were from, like the shoes in the hand were from like a how to draw sort of thing. So I was trying to copy them down. Here's some water-soluble pencils I was just swatching in here. And I actually did the drawings after my Inktober, so I did it all the way at the back. Oh yeah, now we're into Inktober. So you got to see all my Inktober drawings and all my failed ones too. These were the thumbnails. I did a whole video of where I planned out my Inktober and tried to get a head start because I knew I wouldn't be that successful if I didn't have any idea what I was doing. I tried to follow the prompts for the most part, but it got to a point where I did a few that didn't follow the prompts, and then I kind of stopped doing Inktober because I got too busy. But I did get all the way to day 22, so I almost did it. I did like 2/3 of it. So this was Ring. It's a witch or something with a bunch of bells because of ring, bells ringing. This was Mindless, so it's like a big giant that's kind of just like wandering around mindlessly. What was this? I don't know exactly what all the prompts were. Oh, bait. Someone fishing, ice fishing. I could draw that ellipse way better. Freeze, because she has the middle of his stomach and he wants it back. Build, she's building a decoy scarecrow. Husky, failed attempt. Husky attempt number 2. But this one actually doesn't look so bad now that I'm looking at it again. I like the way I did the dogs better in the background too. Enchanted or something. She brought a bunch of pumpkins and fruits to life. I think this was Overgrown or Fragile? Frail. I think that was Frail. It's a deer. I always think deers are very frail looking. Swing, someone's swinging on a tree with all these little creatures hidden around it. I think this is Pattern. Yeah, because of the patterned shirt and the cardigan too. This is a very pattern-based sort of thing. What was this? Wild or something? Or Sled or Snow? I think it was Snow. Something like that. This was Dragon, of course. 2 dragons. This was kind of like a failed one, like experimental. Did not go well. I think this was Ash. Wasn't a huge fan of this one either, but people seem to like it. Overgrown, just like a bull, I think, or something similar. Overgrown with plants just growing out of the fur. Pretty common sort of trope you see around. What was this? Legend. So they're looking at cave paintings. It's kind of like a legend, like something from a long time ago, passed down. I think this is Wild. Just a dog and a bird flying and running together. I kind of had fun with that one. Ornament. I really like this one. I want to turn it into a print, and I might color it too. I think that'll be fun. This was supposed to be Misfit that I messed up, and another Misfit that I messed up. And then this was Misfit because he's wearing a scarf and most birds don't do that. I guess that makes him a misfit. It was kind of a stretch. That's when I started to not really feel the prompts. And I did just like a photo study with ink from a wintry day, like last year or the year before. And this was, I don't think this was a prompt. I think I just kind of drew it. But I think it ended up fitting the prompt by accident. So I don't know. Just a frog with some flowers and someone like a spider witch sort of thing. And then I gave up on Inktober. I really like this cat sketch. I think it's pretty fun. And not a fan of like the hand there. But I think these turned out okay. This was like me playing around with some materials, some gouache, some colors of gouache I've never had before. So it's pretty fun. Some little ghosty dudes. I actually did this quite recently, today. Use some highlighters, just drawing a bunch of nonsense, honestly. This is a dog holding a basket, but it kind of looks like he has just a huge mouth. Just some sketches from photos of these like children just like running around, so I wanted to try to get the energy of that. I wish I didn't do this like black borders. But some watercolor frogs I was going to turn into stickers, but none of them really went as expected. This page is a huge mess. I don't mind this face, but like the rest of it is like not great. I like this bunny. I meant to turn this into something. I like the way I drew that. These are like really scary, shadowy figures. A bird with a coat, because I always draw animals with coats. Frog with an umbrella. He could have been a sticker. Some leaves, a pumpkin for some reason. Oh, I think my sister drew that. My sister did that because I wanted her to try one of my brush pens. And the last page is just this little frog, because sometimes I like to just leave it with a little Just a very small thing. I want to turn him into a sticker also. And that's everything. I don't know how many pages these sketchbooks have, but I really like illo sketchbooks. But as you saw, I actually started a new sketchbook already because I had the rest of this one reserved for Inktober. But then when I decided not to do Inktober anymore, I had to then fill the rest of the pages before I could do the sketchbook tour. So now this is finally done. I can put the sketchbook to rest and not carry it around with me anymore and focus on my new one and just try to fill that one and just have fun with it. And hopefully get a nice one like this again, maybe for Christmas, hopefully. I don't know, because I really like these square ones. I just like using them. I also have a Patreon where I send out monthly prints and stickers and all kinds of stuff that are limited that I don't ever print again. So if you sign up before December 1st, you'll get the November package. You'll get the December package if you sign up before December 1st. You can also see a bunch of sketches and behind the scenes stuff and a monthly newsletter that I just kind of type up all the stuff I've been up to lately once a month. And I also have a store where I sell pins and stickers and prints and stuff like that. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing my sketchbook. Let me know how your sketchbook is going and I'll see you in my next video.